open it, and then you just click the same button, and it will close it. So from the app, you could do it from a Apple Watch if you had it. We're going to do an unboxing of the Power Frunk for the Tesla Model Y Juniper. So over here are the tools that we're going to need. They've provided a fishing tool for running the release cable. That's this one right here through the front eye, or through the front of the bumper. Probably not going to need it. I've got a pick for removing the struts, a 13 millimeter and 10 millimeter socket and wrench, a long screwdriver, cutters for zip ties, some extensions, a pry tool. If we need anything else, I'll just grab it. And one of the things I do with all my Frunk installs, I did it on my Model 3, is I use fabric tape to cover the entire harness. Once I've got it in place, I'll use fabric tape to make it look like it's factory. I know it's not needed. You can just zip tie it, but I'll know that it's there. In this side here, we've got, this is the controller. This is the brains of it. We've got the two struts here, so they're exactly the same. So it's the left and right strut. I'll put this on my lap. The second strut, they're interchangeable. There's not a left or right. And then here's the wire harness. Don't be intimidated. There's not really a lot to plug in. The installation process is primarily, you see how that is? Like, I would run fabric all along this so it looks like one single cable. Anyway, that's the wire harness, the power plug, and then when you're installing the struts, we have the mounting hardware, and on each one of them there'll be a L or right. So this is the right side or passenger side, and left or driver's side. They do provide a couple double-sided tapes that you can use to stick this onto a body panel if you want to. I'll probably just zip tie this to one of the inside panels. The last piece is the actual latch with the, a lot of stuff here. So this is the latch that's going to mount behind the original latch, and then this is the suction piece that we'll be putting in as well. So there's a lot of different pieces here, and they do provide an extension. This will be used on the right strut because I'm going to be mounting it on the left side, I believe. So I'll look at it. It'll either be for the left or right. It's interchangeable. But let's break this down. There's a couple things. The first step is going to be the dismantling of the tub. We're going to take the tub out, the cover up front here, the HEPA filter. So all that has to come out. So that's fairly straightforward. It's clips and a 10 millimeter nut. And then we're going to remove the struts, put in the new struts, and then the rest of it is just cable management, wiring and cable management. So let's go ahead, let's get into this. Okay, for step one, we're going to remove the back panel. So we're just going to open up this panel here. We're just removing the clips. There we go. Next step is to remove the 4 bolts. They're 10 millimeter for the tub. Just throw the bolts into the tub where you know where they are. Now that we got that off, we just need to use the pry bar to open this up. And you do need to remove this power plug. Now that it's loose, just unplug it. We'll put this to the side as well. Lift up on the tub. Be careful not to break any of the clips on the sides. There we go. The next step is to remove the 10mm on both ends of the HEPA filter, to remove that. And then we just pull this out. And it's just kind of sitting in the air vent right here with this rubber seal that you can see right here. So we just have to put this to the side. Again, I'll just put it on top of the tub. So because we have to go down there, this kind of gets in the way. So what we're going to do is just remove this clip. And we'll put this to the side. What that allows us to do is now lift this up. There we go. And I'll put that in my pocket so we don't lose it. So before we go any further, what we need to do is just power off the car. So hit the car, go to safety, scroll to the bottom, power off, power off. Okay, so now that the car is powered off, one thing we need to just make sure is that the trunk doesn't close on us while we're working on the strut piece. So I've got this adjustable post, put it in there. Yeah, that's good. It's going to hold it in place. There's an upper clip, which is this one right here. And then there's a bottom one down there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this. Now hopefully I don't have any issues with it. There's the bottom one done. And then the top one is right here. So if I hold that, there we go. That wasn't too hard at all. So clip, and what you want to do is take a small screwdriver and you're going to pop that out. Once it's out like that, then you can just pull it off. And same on the bottom. You're just going to put that in place, pop it out, and pull it off. Also, I'll go do the second one. So here I am, I'm removing the pivot ball joint that was there. Here it is, so I'm just showing it to you. Now I'm going to go and grab the bracket. You can see this one's marked R, so that's the right side. You place it in this direction like that. And then once we have this in there, we just have to go ahead and mount it. They do provide the bolt for it, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. Here's the strut, and these are where the ball joints plug into. And so we just have to turn it so it lines up. You can see that one has to be turned, so I'm just going to grab it and twist it right there. And then you just go ahead and you just slide it into position and then snap it into place. You don't have to use any special tools. And I'll do that on this side, and then I'll complete it on the other side before moving on to the next step. So here's some paint. It's a pen paint, white paint that I'm using. And I'm just using this so that I can mark it. Most people use masking tape, but this way it's a permanent thing that's in there. And I know I can get it in the right place. Once I've done this, I did this on my previous install. So here we go, I'm just marking it right there. And once it's marked, we'll just let that dry. It dries pretty quickly, maybe a minute or two. That's all it takes. And then here's the bracket. And so it kind of lines up in front of it here. And all we have to do is go ahead and remove the bolts. There's two of them. They're 10 millimeter. So here I'm just showing you how it lines up. And then we just remove these bolts here. Again, there's two 10 millimeter bolts. And just be careful when you're taking these out. You don't want them to drop down into the Tesla wasteland, because you won't be able to find them afterwards. There's a plastic plate underneath that it'll get stuck on. It won't fall to the ground. So just make sure you take your time here. So there we go. You can see how careful I'm trying to be. And then we're just going to slowly pull this off, and then we'll take the new bracket. They kind of match up together here. You can see I'm just sliding it in there. And then all we have to do is, once it's lined up, so you can see right here, it's just, there we go, it's all lined up. We need to put this piece underneath the spring that's there. And to do that, we need to release this tension that's on this side here. So we just go ahead and we just release it slowly. And then we lift up on that other part, slide the piece underneath it, and then just put everything back in place. So you can see I'm just putting that there. And then you're going to slide that back up into the location. And there we go. That's everything that needs to be done. So now we just need to turn it back over and bolt it up and line it up. So what I would recommend is to hand tighten these bolts, and then just make sure it's nice and snug, so that when you're moving this bracket piece around, it kind of stays in place when you're doing the alignment. So once you've got this aligned, just make sure you tighten up the bolts here, and then we can move on to the next step. So here I'm just showing you that everything's lined up and we're good to go. So go ahead and press at the 1 o'clock on the hitch piece right here, and it'll just pop open. And now we're going to go and take the emergency latch, and we're going to press it, and we're going to push it through the hole from the other side. So here we are. That's all there is to it. And now we're going to secure that using a zip tie. We just attach it to the existing wires that are sticking out there. Okay, we'll just cut that off. And then again, you just push it back, line it back up here for the 1 o'clock, and just press back in, and that's it. That's all there is to that piece. So let's move on to the next part. We're going to take this suction piece, we're going to stick it in behind the panel and move it up, and then we'll use zip ties to secure it to that bracket that's there. Now I've gone ahead already and just pushed the control module in the back there, and I'm just using zip ties to hold it in place. It's really tight, so it's not a problem there. And I already connected the cable wire harness to it, so everything is there ready to go. So I'm going to be using 2 zip ties here. And when I'm completed all the zip tying, I'll use the cutters to cut those off. There we go, it's secured right now. Okay, so now that we've got all the hardware stuff in place, what we're going to do is we're going to take the cables. These are the ones going to the struts. That's the battery positive cable. And those are going to be going to the back of the car, and all the other wires are going to the front of the car. So this is where I'm going to take and figure out where each cable goes. And then I'm going to take the fabric tape and I'm going to wrap the cables so it's nice and neat and looks factory. So I'll start up here at the main junction, and I'll just work my way back so that everything looks nice and neat. And then I will zap those pieces to existing wire harnesses so they're in a secure thing. So right now I'm just fast forwarding it here so you guys don't have to watch the whole ordeal here. So I'm going at 8 times right now. So we are wrapping it up. It's a bit of a tedious process, but the eventual outcome is it looks nice and neat, and we don't have wires dangling all over the place, and it doesn't look like some aftermarket thing. So now we're going to go ahead and connect all the cables. These ones here going up to the struts like I'd mentioned before. So this one's D6, and we're just going to unplug it from that controller there, and then we'll put this bypass in. So we'll plug the original into the cable here, and then we'll plug the other end into that. And I forgot to mention D5, which is plugged into that suction thing behind the panel. I had already done that. So now we're just looking at how I'm going to manage the cables and where I'm going to zip tie them so that they are out of the way. So now we're just moving over to the 2 that get plugged into the latch. That's D7 and D8. So the back one, the one that I'm going to plug in right now here, I'm pointing it out, is D8, and it's a bypass as well. So let's go ahead. I'll show you this in a different view. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in. Make sure you hear the click sound and lock it into place. And then this is D7, so just plug that into the front one there. Again, listen for the click. And then now we need to plug the original one into that bypass. And here are the 2 cables, and here we are. We're just going to go and plug these together. So that's all the plugs up front. Don't forget to lock it by pressing that red clip. And now just go ahead and, so this cable here is the button that's in the frunk. And now let's go ahead and we're going to take care of the rest of the cables here. We'll zip tie this down along the original wire harness. And I just pointed out the ground, so we'll loosen that off and then put the ground in there so it's nice and tight. And then this is the B+, which goes to the battery, so I'm just going to see how I'm going to route that over there. So here's the B+ battery cable, and we're going to slide it up underneath the rubber housing there. And then put it on that screw piece right there. Once you have that, we'll connect it with the provided nut from the package, and we'll just spin this on and tighten it. Be sure not to drop it. There we go, and then we're just going to quickly tighten this up and then put the cover back on. There we go. So that looks nice and neat, and so it's not in the way of anything. So here's the extension cable for the left strut. So I had mentioned I was going to use it on the right strut in the very beginning, but I'll be using on the right. And I'm just running the wire around and behind everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect that extension cable so that I can get it down to where the controller is. So I'm just connecting that cable right now. There we go. It can only be plugged in one way. And then I'm just going to slide that in behind the HVAC intake. There we go. And so here's the B plus battery connector, so I might as well connect that while we're here. So it's plugged in and it's all ready to go. So here are the strut cables. They're the last connections I'm making here. They come in pairs, doesn't matter which one you connect them to. So I'll say this one is the left strut. Can only go one way. There we go. We connect that one there as well. And then we take the other cable and we connect that one to this one. So this would be the right strut. Get that all nice and connected. And now we're just going to do some nice cable management using some zip ties. So I'm just trying to run them along the existing wire harness. So I'm grab some zip ties and I'm going to connect the zip ties on both sides of those connectors so that we can make sure that there's no stress on the connections. Here's the second one. And now we're just going to run those wires up along the harness. We'll zip tie it a couple times. Again, just trying to make it nice and neat. And then once we finish cabling, we'll take this clippers and we'll cut all those ends off. There we go. So that's everything. So now let's just do a quick test. So I plugged in the switch inside there and it came down. Now I'm just checking to make sure that the alignment looks good. So it looks good on that side, looks good over there. It's all good. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up the frunk. I'm just going to use the screen open frunk. There we go. It's nice and open. Then now the last piece that I'm going to do is I'm just going to look around, make sure that everything looks secure. I haven't left any zip ties that I haven't cut. There's no tools or anything inside there. So it's all good. So now let's start putting back everything. So here's the air filter. So you just put it in place. And here we are. It looks good. I'm just making sure that it sits nice and secure in that vent hole. There we go. I'm taking a look. Yep, looks good. Okay, so it's nice and secure now. So I'm just going to take the 10mm bolts and I'm going to put those both in on each side. And then I'll just use the socket and tighten that up. So there we are, we're just spinning them on both sides. And don't forget to replace those clips that we took off the plastic housing there. So just get those back in there so they're nice and secure. And then I'm pointing out the drain hole here. It just goes straight into the car. That doesn't have a hose or anything connected to it. It'll just drip underneath the car. And so now we're just going to go ahead and place the tub inside the car. Just be careful with it. The clips on the side are pretty gentle. And then all you're going to do is just make sure that they're in place. That's what I'm doing right here, just checking it out. It looks good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the bolts. Oh yeah, don't forget that you need to ensure that that cable for the switch is there. And now I'm going to peel back the rubber seal because it's supposed to be on the outside of the tub. So I'm just going to take my time on that. And then once it's done, I can go ahead. And once it's done, I can go ahead and just spin in the 4 bolts. So just place them hand tight. Just make sure that way you have all 4 lined up. And here we are spinning them on. And I'm just pressing down to make sure that the clips are in place. So everything's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in that button. And now we just put the last piece on. So just put that on carefully. You just want to make sure that the pins line up, and then you're going to go ahead and just press down on it. You'll hear it clicking as it seats itself. Now that we've got the Power Frunk installed, we've tested it, everything, so let's go ahead and see all the different ways that we can open and close the Frunk. So the first one is from your Tesla app, so I'll just do it here. Let's go ahead and open it. And then you just click the same button, and we'll close it. So from the app, you could do it from a Apple Watch if you had it. So I know for a fact that that would work. Let me go ahead and open it again. So if you have it open, you can just press the button on the inside here and that will close it. So that's the second way. Now I'm going to go sit in the car and we're going to go ahead and open it from there. From the inside, we can just click on the Open Frunk button. And that will open it. And you click it again. And that's going to go ahead and close it. So we know we can do that. There are voice commands within Tesla. So we can go ahead and say Open Frunk. And it will open it. And if we say close Frunk, we get a message on the screen that says Frunk must be closed manually. The other option that I have is I have Enhanced Auto Commander installed. It's an accessory that allows you to do a lot of different other things, and one of them that they have is we've got these little buttons. I've programmed this button to open and close the Frunk, so I can go ahead and place this anywhere within the car. And if I click on it, and I'll do that again. So there you go. Those are all the different ways that you can open and close the Frunk. Hey Siri, open Tesla Frunk. Here we go. Open Tesla Frunk. And the final way that I've also set up Siri. Hey Siri, open Tesla Frunk. Here we go. Open Tesla Frunk. Siri on the Apple iPhone works. It's using shortcuts. One of the downsides to that is the phone needs to be unlocked. So it's not like you can just walk with the phone in your pocket and then just throw out that command. Your phone's going to be needed to be unlocked to have that work, but it does work. So that's a pretty cool little feature that you could set up as well. So that's neat that all these things that you can open it up all different ways and it opens, which is a lot better than having to manually close it with your hands. It's painful. I know, third world thing. If you're interested in purchasing something like this from Hansshow, I've got a link down in the description. They're running Black Friday specials on their entire lineup of Tesla accessories. I've got a discount code for Black Friday. It's BC Tesla Guy 26. It gives you 26% off on all products at the Hansshow website. So get out there, get some accessories for your brand new Model Y. This one I just love. The swivel monitor mount is another one that I just love. So again, thanks for watching these videos, and be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. Thanks again for watching.